Auburn lost as a double-digit home favorite last week to Cal. We'll see if the Tigers can right the ship here. But first, I want to tell you about a special that we have going on, the Wager Talk site. It's 30 days of college football and NFL for just $199. It's less than 20%. It's 20% off the normal price, and no coupon is needed. So head on over to wagertalk.com and take advantage of that special, whether it's for me or someone else. It's good for all handicappers, and it gets you a discounted rate for the next 30 days. Okay, Auburn, New Mexico last week on YouTube. I had two winners, 2-0 in these video plays. We had Syracuse +3. We had the over in Tennessee, NC State, and we're going to try to hit another side here. I like to lay the points in this spot with Auburn. Auburn lost last week, as I said at the top, to Cal. But you know what? Cal's a good football team. If you were one of my clients, I told you that. That was a 4% play for me on Cal. We got a great number on that game. And Cal ended up winning the game outright. Don't sleep on that Cal team. That's what I said last week. They're a dark horse, in my opinion, in the ACC this year. Good football team on both sides of the ball. The defense was fantastic in that game against Auburn last week. So I think, you have to give Cal some credit there, as much as you want. You might want to downgrade Auburn for losing as a double-digit favorite on their home field. But I do think Auburn gets right here. Now, I still, even though I bet against Auburn last week, again, it was more of where I stand on Cal and a play on Cal, because I still think Auburn has improved, kind of across the board from where they were last year, even with the 4 turnovers or the 4 interceptions from Thorne last week and the offense looking inept at times. I still think this team is going in the right direction. And I do think they're going to benefit big time here from a step down in competition, which is what New Mexico represents in this game. So New Mexico last week will tip the cap. They had a good first half. They hung around, kind of, maybe gave Arizona a little bit of something to think about, at least at halftime. But when it was all said and done, they gave up 61 points, 627 total yards. They ended up covering, but it wasn't really not close. I mean, I think the final margin was 22. Spread was something like 29 or 30. So, New Mexico gets the cover, but really ran out of gas in the second half of that game. And now they have to turn around and play another road game against an Auburn team that, in my opinion, can name the score here. This is, first of all, it's a tough spot for New Mexico, right? Like, they go kind of give an all-out effort early, think they're in the game with Arizona, and then get blown out, and then a quick turnaround on the road. And it feels like a spot where Auburn's going to want to name the score in the respect that they're just going to want to blow this team out. I mentioned Thorne earlier, the 4 interceptions. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but I also don't think it's going to really fully matter in this game. I think Auburn is going to be able to sort of run the ball at will against this New Mexico defense. The other thing, too, I'm not as concerned about Thorne in regards to like holding the Auburn offense back, because I think Hugh Freeze is a great offensive mind. I think he's going to figure out how to get this offense going. Certainly we'll be able to do that against a lesser opponent here. We'll have to see if they take the step forward once we get into some of the better SEC teams, but that's not what they're dealing with this week. And against New Mexico, I fully expect them to scheme to be able to sort of score whenever they want in this game. Again, it's just the 600 plus yards of offense that, New Mexico gave up to Arizona last week kind of feels like what's going to happen here. And Auburn, I feel like they need to just run it up. Before I got on to do this video, I saw Peyton Thorne was getting Venmo requests from people that bet on Auburn last week because he played so poorly. It just feels like a spot where Auburn, they're going to be at home again, scene of the crime, where they lost to Cal last week. They've got to appease their fans, if you will. And I think that's going to come in the form of not letting up. This is like kind of one of those bye games where they could take it easy if they want, if they open up a lead. I just don't think that's how this is going to go. I think Auburn is going to pour it on. I think they're going to be relentless in doing that. And if that's the case, 28's not going to hold. Like they should be able to open this up by 30, 35, 40 points. I really honestly feel like that's what Auburn feels like they need to do after how poorly they played against Cal last week, specifically Thorne, and padding his stats just to help his confidence makes a lot of sense too. So, after the loss to Cal and after how poorly the offensive played, I think the point of emphasis here for Auburn is going to be on scoring points. I don't think New Mexico is equipped to not let them do that. So I'm going to lay the 28 here with Auburn. I think this is a total mismatch. It ends up getting ugly in the second half, and I'll call this one Auburn somewhere in the 35 to 40-point margin range. So the pick here is Auburn minus 28. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and all platforms at AdamTriggerWT. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment below. Let me know if you agree, disagree, or how you see this game. I love interacting with you guys on here. And let's go 2-0 in the free YouTube video plays again this week. We'll see you guys soon.